Can you believe that Rick and Morty has been out for almost 8 years now? The first season aired during my freshman year at college. Jesus, I'm getting old. But age aside, that made me a prime target for this show, and sure enough, my freshman year, my friends and I would sit in the common room watching the new episode of Rick and Morty while eating top ramen and talking about this brand new free game everybody was playing called League of Legends. Times were definitely different. But needless to say, Rick and Morty would become hugely successful, being a staple in my generation's cult classic shows, and even move beyond that title to being a household name. Rick and Morty is huge, and with a show that has both a cult following that can get a bit obsessive at times, yes, I'm talking about you, Szechuan sauce people, and a casual following like myself, makes it ripe for content creation. It's honestly hard to find another show that's been deconstructed, reconstructed, theorized, episodically broken down every minute detail, that the thought that I could possibly add to the conversation in a critical way is a joke. I know that I am entering one of the bloodiest battlefields on YouTube by making a video on Rick and Morty, but god damn it, I just want to make a video on this show. So specifically for this video, I really want to focus on Season 5, which just wrapped. And I'm assuming that everyone who is watching this video has seen all of Rick and Morty, which surprisingly for a show that's been airing for 8 years, has a very limited number of episodes. Season 5 is no different, only running for 10 episodes. But what Rick and Morty lack in quantity, they more than make up for in quality. And Season 5 may just be my favorite season. The reason why is simple. Season 5 is all about returning to form. Ever since Evil Morty became a thing, overarching and connected stories started becoming a staple in the previous seasons. There were actual overarching stories for these seasons which were nice. I personally love them. But there was a clear problem with that. If you have an overarching story, you need an ending. Whether it's finding the One Piece or becoming the next #1 hero, the point of overarching stories is to eventually have a conclusion. So when the creators of Rick and Morty started creating overarching stories in their seasons, they inadvertently put a timer on their show. That the finale of the show will be this huge fight between C-137, Rick and Morty versus Evil Morty, which obviously isn't what the creators want. So Season 5 was purely a season to correct this, for lack of a better term, mistake, and realign the show back to its nihilistic ideals. Well, sort of. The show really isn't nihilistic anymore, but that's a video for another time. Out of the 10 episodes, 8 of them were back to being episodic adventures, whether it's fighting giant robots, or messing with time-space, or the end of the world, or hell, just even a random Thanksgiving episode. These were just fun episodes of the family getting into hijinks and everything eventually turning back to normal by the end of the episode. Sort of. There was that one episode where Rick was super into crows, and it did bleed over into the next one. Out of all these episodes, there were only 2 that dealt with the overarching plot, Episode 8 and Episode 10. In Episode 8, Rickternal Friendship of a Spotless Mort, it's a solo adventure with Rick where his objective is to revive Bird Person. So to do that, he has to enter Bird Person's mind, which is slowly collapsing. So naturally, considering Bird Person and Rick were close, we get quite a bit of backstory on the two of them. Basically, it's about how Rick, Bird Person, and a few others fought against an empire and won. But the big reveal happens at the Battle of Blood Ridge, which is constantly referenced throughout the episode as one of Rick's biggest failures. Rick is ashamed of what happened there, and finally we get to see the reality. That Bird Person and Rick fought side by side and crushed the enemy's army, knocking them back and getting their final victory. In other words, it's a conclusion to their story. Rick, excited in the moment, pitches the idea of going to another universe and doing it all over again with Bird Person. But naturally, Bird Person rejects this. They won. There is no need for further fighting. And that is the conclusion of their tale. It's Rick's greatest failure because in his eyes, nothing as great as that will ever happen again. The Battle of Blood Ridge is a metaphor for Rick and Morty as a whole. If the show has some massive overarching narrative and a giant conclusion, the audience will be like Bird Person, there to enjoy it when it happens, but will be gone the second it's over. Using the excuse of going to a new universe and trying it all over again won't change their mind. They don't want to do a giant 5-episode finale for Evil Morty because most likely it will mean the end of the show, or at least the end of people's interest in this show. So let's talk about episode 10, Rick Mirai Jack. It starts off with Rick still in his crow phase, which is both weird but uniquely hilarious. But obviously the episode leads them to the Citadel. There they are forced to meet with Evil Morty, who lays out his plans to use the Citadel's weapons to escape the finite curve and go to a universe where either Rick isn't a genius or doesn't exist. They kind of don't explain which one it is. And in exchange, he causes a massive amount of destruction and basically lays out the entire backstory of Rick's life, the existence of Morty, and just how dangerously codependent they are. The whole point of this episode, to me, feels like it's yelling that this is the final overarching story episode. You want to know Rick and the Citadel's backstory? Here is how it all happened. You want to know what happened to Evil Morty? Here, he destroys the Citadel, escapes the finite curve, and lives happily ever after, and you will never see him again. In other words, the creators made this episode to answer all the dying questions the fans have been asking for a long time, while also cleaning the slate and basically allowing Rick and Morty to truly transfer back into an episodic series without any of the baggage of the past 5 seasons. Not to mention, without doing it in some big finale that would end the show for most fans. It's frankly brilliant, and of course, in usual Rick and Morty fashion, it's executed extremely well and probably one of my favorite episodes. Rick and Morty is great, and seeing season 5 really return back to form with its episodic feel while resolving a lot of the internal problems that was going to give it a limited shelf life. I mean, it's fantastic. Rick and Morty truly is out of this world, or universe, or technically finite curve. Hey guys, thank you guys so much for watching this quick video. Just a heads up, I recorded this video live on Twitch, so if you guys want to come hang out with us on Twitch and watch me make a complete fool of myself and reread lines constantly like everybody else in chat has been doing, feel free to check me out, twitch.tv/ManimeMatt. Also, come join our Discord because we're doing a live watch through of Excel World if you guys want to join us. See you guys on the roundabout. Peace, peace. That was I don't know why I said roundabout, but bye.